Hello, folks, and welcome to another great edition of PPR Esports. I am your host, Best Teon, as always joined by Ibina. We're back, folks. The Dream Team is back tonight on comms, but more importantly, D1 is back for another exciting round today, live from the Sochi Autodrome in Russia. Let me take you through all the exciting things we have in plan for you guys tonight. Little info about the Sochi Autodrome. It is located in the Sochi Olympic Village in Russia, actually. It's 5.8 kilometers around, or 3.6 miles. Pretty freaking long lap. Lap record's a 1:35.7 held by Lewis Hamilton. He set that last year. It's going to be 18 turns, 5 to the left and 13 to the right. So it's going to be hell to pay on those front and right side tires. 2 DRS zones, as you can see, one between the kink of turn 1 and the hard braking zone of turn 2, and another one between the bendy bits of turn 10 all the way down to the start of sector 3 at turn 13. Very difficult overtaking spot there, though. But keep an eye out for a lot of exciting overtakes through the long left-hander there in sector 1 between 2, 3, and 4. It's going to be 26 laps around. But before we get into it all, folks, well, I went on the internet this week and I found this, a very funny Photoshop picture. Rumors are swirling that Liberty Media is ready to help foot the bill for the Renault team to bring back Fernando Alonso in one of their cars. So could this be the lineup we'll see in 2021? I think we're going to have to wait and find out. Until then, folks, let's talk about tonight's lineup. First up today is Renault, Chandler Seda and PPR Nick. Chandler Seda, well, it's really looking like it's his championship to lose now. Podium magnet is what I would say. He's been on a wild run of them here, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. Nick, unfortunately, has begun to slide further back in the championship. Even when he does make the race, luck has not been on his side. Down to Williams, who looked to put up a strong challenge, but unfortunately has faltered. B-Dunk has yet to really put up any podium-type results, and he's really slipped to a almost insurmountable gap in the standings. Besides him, we have Double OT, who unfortunately has had not much luck either. Really looking to find the points. He has slipped back from 10th to 11th. Scuderia Toro Rosso Honda, Saxman, and Brackish. Saxman has in fact closed the gap so much that he is now eyeing a runner-up in the Drivers' Championship, so keep an eye on him and B-Dunk to get into it tonight. Brackish, unfortunately, despite finishing in the points at the last race, has fallen backwards in the midfield standings. Just a testament to how tight things are in Division 1. Racing Point, Andre Myrie and Ed Torona. Andre Myrie having a strong showing back out in Singapore. Unfortunately, Ed has yet to find his form in the closing stages of this season. McLaren Renault, really looking like to be a second, not to be quite a second half team. Boss Cookie, unfortunately, is not really going to be looking to catch up to the 6 cars in front of him, but rather have his eyes behind him. He'll look to maintain that position today. Run the Jules, on the other hand, really been in no man's land all year. Let's hope to see him maybe get a couple of points as a consolation prize at the end of this season. Alfa Romeo Racing, Mr. Reimer and Ginger Horizon. Looks to me like we've got Reimer slipping back 1 and Ginger Horizon championship position 4. Yeah, so he's kind of in an awkward spot where he's neither close enough to the top 3 to really make any gains, but he is so far ahead of P5 through P7 that, well, frankly, all he's got to do is just finish the season. Mercedes, kind of finding a little bit of form. Unfortunately, Sparky did not make it to the end at the last race. And Jay Lee has, unfortunately, run into penalty trouble in the latter stages of this season. Red Bull Racing Honda, Delirious Capita Hood. Delirious still yet to really find the track this season. Capita Hood, on the other hand, back in the saddle, having a great time out of Singapore. Look for him to make lots of inroads at Red Bull. Scuderia Ferrari getting off the back row. Good for them. King Kirk, unfortunately, falling back 2 positions in the championship. We'll hope to see him bounce back today. Caspita, in fact, looks like there's been a driver change at Ferrari, and he's been moved down to a reserve role, so we'll have to keep an eye out for who will be in the other Scarlet Ferrari car. Bottom of the table, well, it's Rich Energy Haas, unfortunately. Hoopalicious has been on fire, but unfortunately, Alphanesis has not been able to really put together any other points performances to put them out in front of Ferrari. One man, too little, too late. It's just not going to be enough. Drivers' Championship, folks, here you have it. Like I was saying, Ginger Horizon really in no man's land. He's got about 40 points to either direction. Behind him, Gets really tight there from about P6 all the way down to about P9. But as you can see at the top, Chandler State is rocking almost a 100-point lead on B-Dunk, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Down to the back end of the field, reserve battle is heating up. Loki and Ramrod sticking close in there, but these back 6 cars will be looking to make some inroads as well. And here's the Constructors' Championship, folks. Looks like Williams might have a shot at catching Renault, but honestly, the team to watch is going to be Toro Rosso. They are only one solid finish behind Williams, and both their drivers have shown very brilliant flashes of speed this season. I don't see why they can't close that gap. Down the rest of the field, though, Alfa Romeo and Racing Point looking very close there. Behind them, it's going to be a tie for P6 right now. McLaren continues to slide back so much that Red Bull has caught them in the closing stages of this season. Perhaps Red Bull will be knocking on the door of McLaren and maybe see themselves sitting in the best of the rest. There you have it, folks. We're going to take a brief intermission while we get comms set up and ready to go. I'm Best Teon, joined by IB Na, and we'll also have a special guest soon to be revealed in the booth. Thank you. All right, IB, can you hear me? IB. Yo.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Could you not hear me before?
No, I could not. I apologize, guys.
No, it's okay. We're not on air right now. We're trying to get Corn in here. Okay. So,
yeah, I guess I was having some audio issues.
No, as long I saw the levels on here. I saw the levels on freaking. All right, here we go. All right. Check. Corn, give me some work. Give me some English. Hello. Everyone say something.
Sorry for being late. I'm here.
Great. Wonderful.
Ta-da!
All right, boys. We're going to count down from 10 and we're going to be live, okay?
All right, can I just get a game invite?
Yeah. Here, I got you. Friends list. Father Corn. There we go. Invite. Oh, it says I can't invite you to the game.
Oh, shit, no.
Nathan, you got any fixes for this?
What if you press pause?
There's 19 drivers in the session, so
Here should be room for one more.
Yeah, let me see. Father Corn, are you friends with me?
I don't think so. Let me,
Add me real quick.
You have the same gamer tag as your Discord?
Yep. Okay. IBNAH.
Alright, let me get that
Okay,
going.
boys, I'm going to get the game up and running here so at least the people have something to look at. And then I'll bring the audio back online here in just a moment.
No fancy graphics this week.
Nathan?
Yep.
Okay. Sweet.
Are you able to join off of me? No, it's not coming up.
All right, boys. Corn, sorry to say, you can hang out and like give analysis if you want, but you're gonna have to be watching things on a delay on the YouTube stream.
Ooh, is that going to be useful?
If you want to stick around, it's up to you. I've done it before.
I don't know.
All right.
I might back out of this one. I'm sorry, guys. I literally just got home.
Don't worry.
Oh, that's cool, man.
All right. Just
All right.
just exit out of this call.
Yeah.
And Nathan
Yep. All right.
understand.
Good luck, guys. See ya.
Later. Okay. And capture. So for some Jesus. What's going on here? That is so strange. All right, so there's a issue with Console Companion right now.
What do you mean?
It's not making any noise. What's going on? Oh, shite. qualifying's not that important. Let me go to OBS.
Is Console Companion a Microsoft app?
Yes, it is. It's not gonna help right now because I already plugged everything into the stream key in mine, so it's already up and running. But why is my Console Companion not making any fucking noise? What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck? Let me make sure it's not just my headset or something. It's so weird because you can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me make sure I got this turned off. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Audio's turned off. Yeah, it's just waiting screen. Cool. Okay. Okay. Well, Spotify's working. This shit's working. I'm gonna need everyone to fuck off for a moment. Okay. Okay, that's playing music. All right. This stupid fucking game. Okay, let's try it one more time. Ah! There we go. We're back. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you when we're live. All right, Nate, you ready to run?
Yep.
All right, and here. All right, folks. Sorry about the brief delay. Let me go ahead and get the levels right here. Unfortunately, there was a console companion glitch where it wasn't giving us any game audio, but we are back. IB, man. Welcome back, buddy. Where are you? We missed you.
Yeah, I have definitely missed you guys as well. So glad to be back up here in the booth. I apologize for my absence. I've had a lot going on in my life recently, as many of us have. But we're into qualifying, and surprise, surprise, look who's on top, Chandler.
Yeah, of course, as we just joined this session in progress, Chandler setting a 131.3. So, IB, I know we usually like to do a lot of onboard laps and kind of talk about the track and whatnot. I'll be perfectly honest, Sochi's not really one of those tracks for that. I think we should quickly discuss some championship issues that are kind of coming, not issues rather, but some possibilities or permutations that are kind of starting to play into the racing now at this stage of the season. 6 races left to go. It looks like Chandler's probably going to have this wrapped up today, if not in Mexico. But it's a close fight for P2, and we've got a constructors fight with McLaren and Red Bull actually tied right now. So why don't you work through each of those points at whatever speed you want?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I definitely, there's no question, right? I mean, this is old school kind of Schumacher-esque. Chandler just going ahead and dominating and making sure that he's got his foot in the door and is holding on to his points. So it's not really a challenge there, obviously, for him. Ginger Horizon, latecomer, came in late in the season. Only been around a couple races, but he's right up there fighting for, probably could get up there to third in the last few races. Between Saxman and B-Dunk, they're really, really close. I think really we've got a good battle here though, for fifth. Fifth is looking really, really close. If you look at it, it looks like maybe 4 drivers could be fighting for it.
Yeah, let me get those standings in front of me as well. I think P5 is looking to me like here we are at D1. Yes, so judging by the spreadsheet, let's have a look.
Got Hoopalicious, Andre Myrie, Bob, and Ed.
Exactly. I would say so Andre Myrie is going to be on for a dogfight with Hoop, and behind him, Boss Cookie's got 5 point advantage to Ed. Capita Hood's got a 5 point advantage to him, Newton. Double OT's got a 1-point advantage to Brackish. And then from there, it kind of trickles off. But, I mean, at the top, I think Saxman might catch B-Dunk today.
Do you think that Ginger has a chance to catch up and put himself in that contention for second?
He would have to win the next 2 races to just draw
I mean,
level.
because
To just draw
I'm
level with
looking
B-Dunk, assuming B-Dunk DNFs and Saxman DNFs.
I mean, because I'm just looking at it here. We got, what, 6 races left to go, including today.
Right.
And if we see B-Dunk and Saxman, continue on with their pace, I don't know. I mean, that's not a lot of points. For example, Saxman, he's been averaging, it looks like, maybe about a 5th place.
He's been
since France.
solid results.
I mean, he's very consistent. Definitely have something to say for that. But I mean, I don't know that he could. I don't know if he could technically catch B-Dunk, but I could definitely see Ginger, pulling that up. I mean, Ginger is what, averaging 3rd?
Yeah, the only difference is Saxman only has to overcome a 15-point deficit as opposed to a 50-point deficit. Oh my, what am I trying to say?
Deficit. Gotcha. We know what you're trying to say, man. Maybe you've had too much to drink tonight. I don't know.
I haven't had anything to drink today. I'm teetotaling until this move is done. I don't want to be hungover moving boxes, if I'm being perfectly honest. Folks, I don't know if you're aware, but in my own life, I'm gearing up for what's looking like a cross-country move. It's been in the works for a while now, but I received confirmation. It's looking like at the beginning of June, I'll be making my way from the Golden State all the way out to the great state of North Carolina, and I will be hunkering down there for a couple of months before making my way down to Florida. So lots happening here.
North Carolina is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you've ever been out there before, but I love it there.
Yes, so my grandparents reside there usually, and I've had a lot of childhood memories of hanging out at Lake Norman and, going tubing and stuff like that. Funny enough, as a kid, I had no interest in motorsport, but now that I'm going back, I definitely want to take some time to go check out, NASCAR, and I know Haas is based there. Maybe I'll go pop by the factory.
Take some pictures, throw that up on our blog.
Exactly. I've even got my 2018 Haas team shirt, Sans Rich Energy, so I feel like I'll be welcomed.
I think you should just have a sacrificial burning in the parking lot of that shirt. For
No,
them,
you know what I'll do? I'll show up with a brand new door from Home Depot addressed to Gunther Steiner.
That might be even better. Oh, man. So it looks like we have broken into the 130s. I know we're not really talking a lot about the racing right now, guys, or the on-track qualifying. But we have broken into the 130s. We've got B-Dunk and Chandler up there. Ginger Horizon, kind of up to his old tricks, doesn't really put in a fast lap till the end, sitting in 5th. But Sparky doing well. Caspita, was Caspita always with Mercedes?
Caspita was actually demoted by Ferrari. Oh. Yeah. Bonotto himself moved, driver transferred him out and put Ham Newton in the seat. So now Caspita is just a reserve for the division, so he's racing in the vacant seat left by Jay Lee Bowens, who is serving a race ban this week.
Wow.
Yeah, so talk about a little silly
so
season.
He basically went into Esteban Arcon's role last year then.
Essentially, yes. So, and I'll tell you what, he's already doing better in the Silver Arrow than he ever was in the Ferrari. So maybe it was time for a change.
Toto gave him a little bit more confidence over there. So speaking of interested driver transfers, though, obviously everybody knows the news, and if you don't, maybe we'll cover it at some point. But, we might actually see a Ferrari to Mercedes move here in the real sport.
Oh, Vettel?
Yeah. Have you not seen that?
I'm reserving comment for our podcast, but the very most I will offer is it would be awesome. I don't really need to say more than that because I think everyone would agree to have Hamilton and Vettel in equal machinery would just be fireworks. If people thought Rosberg and Hamilton was crazy, I don't think anyone's like I couldn't imagine what that would be like. That's like putting Kobe, LeBron, and MJ all on the same team in their prime. It'd be fireworks. And
I mean, don't forget Westbrook and a couple other tall people.
Oh yeah. Let's
get Shaq in there too.
Yeah, it's just it would be fireworks. And What have you heard though? Have you got any specifics? Maybe some legitimate
Nothing yet. It's
leaks?
all rolling around, kind of the rumor mill right now, which is kind of funny because, secondhand news, rumors that comes off of the Fleetwood Mac Rumors album, but I'll leave that alone. Um,
Careful, the algorithm might think we're gonna get copy striked.
sorry. Thank you, YouTube. Anyways, it's just it's real interesting that they're talking about it. I mean, Toto's already said, came out publicly and said we would be fools not to consider it, just because obviously, he is a champion. He's a 4-time champion. I mean, if they do that, they'll have what, 10 championship on that team, total.
It would be, yeah, it did a lot of silverware in one household. That's for sure.
Ugh.
Interesting though, because Vettel and Hamilton, if you look at it from a bird's eye view, they have been the two titans of the sport in the last decade. If you look at 2008 all the way through 2020, it's been the two of them basically trading streaks, with the only anomalies being Rosberg and Button, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you think about it, that's incredible that they've had those are the only other two drivers in a 12-year span to win a driver's title.
And something that was kind of brought up on a Sky Sports video I watched earlier this week, we are seeing literally though the changing of the guard right now, and we're kind of bouncing off, and we're seeing people like Lewis Hamilton kind of pull that Lightning McQueen thing, and they're starting to get to that point to where the newer generation of drivers are coming in, and the older drivers are slowly going to get phased out here. So I don't know how many more years we genuinely have, with drivers like Vettel, drivers like, Hamilton. I think we're running out on that for sure. And it's going to be real interesting just to see how much longer they even stick around.
And I think that's a really positive thing, though, because it's going to be nice to enter into a sport, like a future of the sport, where we're not saying things like records are being broken, but instead these are the firsts for drivers. First wins, first podiums, first pole positions. Like, everyone, like, if you're Hamilton, you've won so many titles. What do you think's the one he remembers the best? It's always going to be your first. And I think a lot of these younger guys are going to be looking at it the same way. Like, this upcoming season, if you want to talk about a truncated schedule and how it's going to affect the drivers, the younger guys are going to be ready to rock. They're hungry.
Oh, yeah. I would say...
Sorry.
I would say if I was Hamilton, the one that I would remember the most, and I can't recall if it was 2008 was his first one, right?
Right.
And that's the year that he beat Massa.
Is that Glock? Yeah.
Yeah. That would, regardless of where that came in my career path, whether that was my first, second, or third, I think that would be the most memorable because it just was out of the blue. It wasn't expected.
Which one was it?
The Glock one, where he passed Glock and everything at the end.
Oh yeah, especially with Ferrari celebrating, and then they relay it on the TV. Poor Felipe.
I just think. I feel so bad for Felipe. First off, I love Felipe Massa as a driver. He was a great second fiddle to Michael back in the day, and he had a lot of talent and fight of his own, and they balanced well. But man, as much as I wish he would have won that championship, I can't imagine what it would feel like to have been Lewis on that day.
I remember watching the clip for the very first time, not knowing the context. All I knew is that it was for the title, and I kind of didn't understand really what the legend of Lewis Hamilton was. And then I watched the clip, and the whole time you're thinking like, wow, like this is it, like that's it, Ferrari won. And then this car, the back marker essentially wiggles on slick tires in the wet, and just the McLaren cruises by at like 30 miles an hour, and you're just Brundle's screaming his head off, and you're like, oh my god, what? It's like a buzzer beater.
Is that Glock?
It's literally the racing equivalent of a buzzer beater.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Like everyone's on the edge of their seat, like, oh my goodness, like what a shift in fates. And
so I'm gonna call us up here. We've got no time remaining in the session, only 2 minutes and 25 seconds after session now that we are running. And we have B-Dunk currently on pole. Can Chandler get it? Can Ham Newton get it?
Well, they'll have to avoid the crashed out Mercedes.
Ooh.
I think that was
Well,
Caspita maybe who got loosey-goosey.
Not 100% sure. It does look like Chandler, though, is in the final sector, coming around the second to last turn. You got to get this perfect in order to get a good exit onto that straight.
Ooh!
Sliding it. Oh, he was pushing. He wants it.
Woo!
Have we seen Chandler this hungry?
Well, I'll tell you what. B-Dunk just saw the clouds part in front of him. But then again, this is Sochi. Pole position here really isn't pole position. You want to be P2, ideally, because you get that nice and easy slipstream all the way down. But
that's very true.
But folks, I'll quickly run through the order in just a moment. I think we have just a couple of cars crossing the line here. Let's
Everybody
see.
else is
Sparky has retired on track. Got it. Okay, nice one. Double OT. Yeah, looks like we're all just kind of cruising around, and Nick is just heading back into the pits now. All right, folks, there you have it. Just a few more minutes, I suppose. Yep, there we go. If you're just joining us, folks, once again, this is PPR Esports Xbox Division 1. I'm your host, Best Teon, joined by IBNOT. We're very happy to have you, and this is your starting order for today's Russian Grand Prix. It's B-Dunk on pole position, setting a 135. 135. Behind him, by only 0.02 of a second, it's Ham Newton. That's your front row. Behind them is going to be Chandler Seda, your championship leader, Ginger Horizon, Hoopalicious, Sparky, Double OT, Mean Fern, Funky Cactus, Andre Myrie in your top 10. In your Choose Your Own Adventure category, we have Caspita, Brackish, Capita Hood, Ed, Saxman, King Kirk, Nick, Reimer, and bringing up the rear, it's Run the Jewels. IB, what is the strat today?
As far as tires go?
Because I really don't know Sochi strat that well.
I don't either, man. I think the biggest strat is here based off of Division 2 because we saw the race leader go down to 4th or 5th just because of time penalties. I mean, my strategy is keep the dang car in the lines.
That's probably a good analysis, especially considering Ronan had a commanding lead at the end of that one. I couldn't believe that either. I saw him going across the line. I'm like, because I think if Ronan won, that drew him level and brought him into the championship fight. But instead now, Cyclone, with his win, he actually takes the lead with only 5 races to go. We could be in for a very 2012-esque finish in D2, folks. Definitely do tune in next week. They'll be live at, we're Mexico next week, correct?
I believe so.
Ooh,
it's going to get spicy for sure.
Indeed. Muy caliente, as they say south of the border.
But little chilly.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, so Division 1, it's not much of a title fight, but there is pride on the line. There is, people like to get things done on track. They don't like to let it be done on penalties. And like you said, this is a penalty-heavy track. A lot of the corners kind of lend themselves to corner cutting, very much the way we saw in Singapore. You want to ride over those curbs as much as you can. What would you say is the most technical challenge on this track, IB?
I mean, you can kind of cutting the corners on the inside isn't really the problem for me here. For me, because I've done tons of time trial laps around here throughout the last week or so, and what I've noticed is it's very hard not to run wide because you feel like you can get on the power so early just because of how far away the walls are, and you really can't, because if you do, you're going to find all 4 tires over on that rumble strip, and you're going to get an invalidated lap or a time penalty, in this case, in the race. So I think that's the biggest struggle, is not running wide on your exits, not getting on the power too early.
I will say this: my girlfriend was having some fun. I tweaked my back over the weekend, so I wasn't even able to practice for tomorrow's race. The last couple days, I've had to be on mandatory bed rest. But she was on the rig, and since I couldn't do Sochi time trial, she's like, well, why don't I just do it? You can just watch me and see if you can pick anything up. And sure enough, she was running wide at every single exit. She's like, why do they keep invalidating me? I'm like, well, you're doing what we like to say in the business called getting greedy. She's just powering over every exit and picking up like 5-6 tenths every time. And I'm like, you really just don't care, do you? And she's like, no, not really.
So I think we really need to do a battle of the girlfriends here.
Yeah.
And let me get her some wheel time on a little bit more. But I think we should do a battle of the girlfriends event. That should be fun.
Oh, like the that's like the Top Gear one where Jeremy, James, and Richard all had their moms come out and test drive the hatchbacks.
Exactly.
That was a good one. I remember that episode.
That would be great.
Yes, it
If you
would
guys
be.
want to see that, make sure you say something in the comments of this video, and we will put it together. Okay? If we get, I don't know, 10 shout outs about it, we'll make that happen. We'll get it up
We
here
will
on
gather
PPR.
all the PPR girlfriends for our own version of the W series. Fear not. We are very inclusive here. In fact, today we
At
actually
least for one event.
we actually had our very first female-focused blog posted today. Or it depends which way you lean. It's totally fine. It's all about the top 5 F1 drivers, written by the PPR sweetheart. But anyway, guys, enough about that. Enough about the blog. Let's go racing, folks. Live from Sochi. It's Xbox Division 1. I'm your host, Best Tayon, joined by IB Na, and here come the lights now. And that's lights out, and we're underway here in Russia. B-Dunk getting a good getaway. That's the Haas of Hoopalicious trying to get out there and get some clean air. Let's see, everyone's cutting to the right-hand side, looking for that slipstream. Let's go on board with Ginger Horizon. It's a 4-car train being led by B-Dunk, leading Ham Newton, leading Chandler Seda into the first corner. Brackish getting a 5-second time penalty for colliding with Andre Myrie. Andre Myrie all the way to the back of the pack. And that's a VSC, folks. Woo! Let's see. What was the damage on our friend in the Racing Point?
I'm not sure yet. I'm running back there right now.
We got a missing end plate, it seems. We've got, yeah, he's missing half his right front wing, most of the elements on his right front wing, and the end plate of his left front wing. Capita Hood also getting tangled up with somebody as well. He is missing components from his front wing as well. A left end plate, it would seem, and some upper aero elements. Seems as though everyone else kept it relatively clean. I don't see too much carbon fiber. Looks like PPR Nick just passed somebody under VSC.
Yeah, he'll have to give that back pretty quickly here.
Brackish and Saxman, though, not looking in a great position here. Looks like Brackish is missing quite a bit of his front wing. And Saxman, who was kind of the driver to watch today, is going to have to probably pit sooner than he would like. And we're back underway now, folks. Let's green flags. Tight little midfield battle forming here. Sparky bringing up the rear a bit, about a 10-car train into Sector 3 now. Mean Fern coming out from the reserve bench today to fill in for the missing Haas. Double OT up to a very, very commanding 6th. But more importantly, folks, a driver to watch, it's B-Dunk, who's found his championship form of last year, and he's running away with this one, folks. He's trying to pull out that gap on Ham Newton right now. Chandler
Absolutely
in the Ferrari.
It's nice to see B-Duck back up in the front for sure. I've been riding on board here with Ginger. He was a big loser there when that VSC came out because him and Hoopalicious were side by side, but it looks like due to the stewards he had to fall back into 5th, even though it looked like he was ahead from my perspective personally. But I'm really excited to see what's going to happen up here with this top 4. It's going to be very crucial that Ham, Chandler, and Hoop do not let B-Dunk get away. Ginger Horizon here obviously staying close as well, and Double OT letting them have a little bit of breathing space while trying to reel them back in.
Yeah, it's a fairly slipstreamy track from what I can judge, and I mean, such as the unfortunate nature of some of the Tilcadromes is there is only kind of one way around it. It looks like a Ginger Horizon trying to go around the outside of Hoopalicious here, and I think he's got the move done. Yes, he has, folks. That's Ginger Horizon up to P4, but Hoop's trying to come back at him now, looking for the better exit. Not going to get it. Ginger Horizon up to P4, Hoop down to P5. These two will be fighting it out probably for the remainder of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I can definitely agree to that. Unless Ginger can get himself up here and to the mix with Chandler, which, quite frankly, I always like seeing them battle. As Ginger Horizon puts in the fastest lap of the race so far. We're only 3 laps in, so it doesn't really mean much, but he is pulling on Chandler right now down this main straight.
Probably won't have the move here quite yet. He'll have to think about it maybe through the left-hander, though, folks. Let's go on board with Ginger right now. Let's see if maybe he's got the speed. Unfortunately, he doesn't. He's going to be just a touch too far back here. Definitely one of the braver spots to overtake on track is that left-hander. but a bit of a train forming here now, folks. Gaps staying pretty close. Overtaking will come at a premium here. Once you see some of those larger gaps like Funky Cactus there, dropping 1.8 back, he should be easy pickings for Ed. Let's go on board now with the Racing Point driver. Ooh, B-Dunk, 3-second time penalty already. There's your first penalty of the race for the lead group. IB, what do you think if you're Ham Newton, push for the position?
Absolutely. I mean, if you get the opportunity, you need to take it at this track. I feel like track position is more important than anything. And if he's got more pace and is able to pull away from B-Dunk, he needs to do it.
We will see what happens at the first round of pit stops. I don't know what the prescribed second compound is here. It seems as though everyone has opted for the soft tire. Only runners being Reimer, Saxman, King Kirk, and Cap and Hood on the medium, though Cap and I believe Cap had to pit on lap 1. Let's see. Ooh, Ham Newton staying just right on that rear. And he set the fastest lap there. I think he's going for P1 here. Let's see now. He's going to have the DRS on B-Dunk down the main straight. Let's see. B-Dunk sticking to the left-hand side of the track here. ERS should have the inside line, no problem. And the momentum.
You're making a move on Chandler as well.
Ooh, but Chandler's just defended just so now. But let's see as Ginger got the big balls to get it done here on the left-hander. Into the hard braking zone, folks. Chandler staying just in front, though. You can take a bit of a better line there if you're following. Chandler would kind of want to run wide maybe, so he keeps him in. Ginger keeps him in check by forcing him kind of on a shallower line that he might have taken. Chandler all four wheels off. That'll probably be a warning for him. Expect to see a lot of penalties. There we go. There's Caspita getting one right now.
Jules getting one.
Man, talk about
looks like Kubalicious is throwing himself back into the mix here, getting ready to make a move on Ginger.
Yeah, and right before, and here comes the DRS straight now. Let's see, folks. He's got the battery nice and charged up. He's got the overtake on. Both drivers are going to have the DRS here, it would seem. Ginger sticking to the right-hand side because he knows he'll have to force Hoop through a very narrow window. Oh, but Hoop switches back to the inside, late on the brakes. He's going to just kind of cut that apex just a touch, but he knows he's not going to get that one. He's going to go for the exit here now. Ginger getting a good exit as well into the left-hander. Ooh, it's not going to happen. Brilliant driving from both individuals, but unfortunately for Hoopalicious, Ginger Horizon will retain P4.
Ginger doing some fantastic defense here, placing his car just as he needs to in order to make sure he has enough track position and being very respectable with Hoop, not pushing him too far off of course either.
Very much so,
but
very much so.
This is the big moneymaker right here. This is where we're going to see all of the overtaking, I would say. Anywhere else it's kind of going to be more of an anomaly, as it looks like we have a Red Bull of Capita Hood off.
Ooh, perhaps. I don't see any yellow flags on my screen at the moment. We got a...
They just cleared up and he got back underway. He is missing an end plate again, running wide into a couple corners, and it looks like the upper two elements of his wing. So he is going to have it again.
Funny
Same
enough,
with Kurt.
If you're looking at the Constructors battle, with Boss Cookie not showing out today, if Jules can't get into the points, all Funky has to do is score any amount of points to get ahead. Because right now, they are level with one another. It's a dead heat for P6 in the Constructors.
That's going to be really, really interesting. I mean, obviously, if it's a dead heat, it will continue. As we see B-Dunk making a move on Ham Newton, going around the outside, sets him up perfectly for the left-hander there.
Oh, that was a beautiful overtake.
Trying to get back in line. Ham Newton going on the inside this time. Is he going to be able to make it stick? No, B-Dunk's got it. Still the inside line on the next corner. This is going to be a drag race down to the end here, as everybody else is kind of Constantining up behind B-Dunk.
I was perfectly
going.
Yeah, would you rather be B-Dunk or Ham Newton in this situation? Because I don't want to be B-Dunk. Because now you got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 cars behind you who are all going to be towing each other with DRS, and you're just a sitting duck. There goes the Ferrari already. First guy getting by. Here comes the Renault and the Alpha trying to get in there. Let's see, B-Dunk is going to He's going to take a really sharp line there, make Chandler think twice about trying to get the big exit. He's back up the inside now along the left-hander. Whoa, into the braking zone, folks. Let's see.
That was a
he's going to force Ham Newton shallow and force him into a time penalty.
Oh.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess that's one way to win it. I'm sure that will be taken up to the steward's office as we see Chandler get a little sideways there on the exit of that corner. But Ginger Rising, he is ready. This is going to be a three-way battle next time around on that main straight, I feel, if not into this back straight here.
Hey, you know what? For all of Sochi's faults, these broadcast angles we're getting are phenomenal. Like, I really like the spectator view of this track, and I can't say that about a lot of these tracks. Down the DRS now, though. Sorry to interrupt you there, IB. I think ERS is going to go for it late on the brakes, maybe? No, he's not. B-Dunk going to just cover him off. So, sorry, you were saying?
I think I would really like to see Valencia come back. I know it won't, but I think we would get some great broadcast angles there, too. That bridge, that track, it was so iconic and unique for one of those street circuits.
You know, I wasn't around for the Valencia days, but my understanding is that they kind of built it to be like this exotic waterfront kind of race, and it was going to bring people into Valencia and really create this kind of atmosphere around it, but it's a harbor front.
It is.
Comparable to like San Pedro or maybe, I don't know what any other cities.
Ham Newton down the inside.
Very much so. B-Dunk coming back at him here, though. Let's see who's going to get the better exit. Ham Newton pulling to the right. B-Dunk to the left. Andre Murray get a 3-second time penalty. B-Dunk back up the inside.
Ginger taking advantage, going on the inside of Ham Newton. Getting ready to... Oh, I thought he was going to make a move on B-Dunk there, but he thinks, wow! That was awesome driving from Ginger.
Oh, we got a pile up. That's the Haas of Hoopalicious. He's out.
He's out?
Well, he was in the barrier, it would seem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got no wing damage or anything.
Wow, he must have just saved it because I saw that car go flying off into the runoff, and he just vanished from view. Folks, sorry about that. Back on board now with our lead cars here. Oh, Chandler almost getting sideways again. A lot of oversteer.
I think that we're seeing Chandler under pressure.
You think so? You did mention this. In traffic, things get very different.
Well, like I said, he's much like young Vettel, in my opinion, at Red Bull. You know, he's got another slide on him there. You know, he pushes too hard, makes a little bit of rookie mistakes, as we see Ham Newton kind of do the same thing.
I was going to say Tokyo drifting his way through there.
I mean, guys, Japan's next week, okay? Practice,
that's
I understand.
Right. It's Suzuka next week, not Mexico. Oh, his safety car, Nick's out.
That should be a penalty for Chandler. He went in before the bollard into the pit very last second.
Ooh. I didn't get it on stream, but if you want us to go to the incident reports, be a witness.
I mean, Hamilton got a penalty for it when he did it at Germany. That's very suspicious, and I will be interested to see what the stewards have to say about it.
I'm not entirely sure what the rule is. I can only assume the rule is you're supposed to enter the pit to the right of the bollard as opposed to the left of it, you know. But
so, I mean, he literally was at the pit wall when he dove in.
Okay. Well.
So I'm not sure where the bollard 100% takes place, but I'm pretty sure that it is before the second to last turn.
We will leave it up to the council. Until then, folks, let's see. Nick is out of the session. But yeah, so Chandler getting into the pits there, getting the free stop essentially, coming back out in P4 of all places. Do you think if you're, if you're B-Dunk, Ginger, and Ham, you want to be on those fresh tires? You just gotta bite the bullet here, don't you?
I mean, they're under the safety car, 10 seconds back to Chandler. Chandler's pushing it. I mean, are they actually? They are behind the safety car.
Yeah, I know it'd be close, but
I think I would stay out if I was them.
On the old softs, though, I feel like that'd be a negative gain of a strategic move because track position, yeah, you're going to lose, but you're going to want the fresh rubber, and if you get another safety car later, hopefully you're in the right spot for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
this is why I wish we had
the way Chandler, the way Chandler has been taking care of his tires, I can't see it really being too much of a net gain for him right now, because he's going to be really frustrated in trying to get past these soft runners. They're going to have a little bit more life left in them, but not much. Maybe another 4 or 5 laps.
Well, let's see, folks. We're on board the lead car. B-Dunk.
They're driving it. There's that bollard.
Yeah, so B-Dunk's into the pits. Ginger's into the pits. Ham Newton's into the pits. Chandler's up to P1. No surprise. Fern's going to stay out. a lot of drivers into the pits now. Let's go ahead and see what the damage is up at the front of the pack. Chandler leading Double OT, leading Funky Cactus, shout out D4. BRL Sparky, Ed, Hoopalicious, Mean Fern, Caspita, Reimer, and B-Dunk is going to come out in Heat 10 on only 1 lap fresher tires, but he will have to make up 10 positions. Chandler for sure winning the track position battle just by sheer plate positioning.
I really think I wish we had instant replays, man, because I would send you that right now and let you view that. I'm really questioning that maneuver.
Well, we'll leave it up to Division 1 to have a word. Ultimately, the drivers do self-report. This is a video game. We don't have live stewarding on Formula 1, so we'll leave it up to them. But to the rest of the race, though, looking down the rest of the field, big winners, Double OT, Funky Cactus, and Sparky now very much in the mix here for a podium. They'll be on the optimal strategy here, and they've got the position. Fern could even hypothetically go to the end on those hard tires.
Man, that's going to eat at me. I don't know our ruling on that. I can't.
It's like when a ref blows a call in a football game. I
just don't know how we rule on that. I don't know what our pit lane rules are. I don't know how closely we follow the FIA's regulations on things like that. I'm at a complete loss on what to think about this.
Well, you've been a long-time Formula 1 fan. If you can exploit a rule, you should exploit a rule. So if there's no rule...
That's not a rule. So, like, what Vettel did at China years ago when he passed the cars going into the pit lane...
That was
legal. Because they... yeah, exactly. That was legal. But what Hamilton did at Germany last year, after he broke his wing at the wall, it was penalized. And if I was rating this as a actual Formula 1 steward, not an esports steward, I'm not speaking for our stewards at all.
Right. Right.
He would have to get a penalty in my book. But I'm not speaking as our stewards. I'm just... going based off of what we've seen the FIA rule before in the true sport, it would be penalized.
Well, folks, the hot take of the day: if you break the rules, you should be penalized. IB, thank you. Let us know in the chat what your thoughts are about this. Could be controversy later on. Could this be the Canada moment of the season? Could we see a 5-second time penalty applied after the fact?
I mean, we're going to see B-Dunk walk up there, or Ginger Horizon and Ham Newton all move the bollard or the number sign out in front of their car to make it right, I think. I mean, that's a struggle.
Yeah, and speaking of, folks, this should be the last lap under safety car here. We will resume racing in just a moment. Your order, as of now, it's Chandler Seda P1, Double OT P2, Funky Cactus P3. Behind them, it's BRL Sparky, Ed, Hoopalicious, Mean Fern, Caspita, Reimer, and Run the Jewels. In your non-points paying positions, it is B-Dunk, Ginger, Ham Newton, Saxman, Brackish, Kinker, Capita Hood, Andre Myrie, and your only retirement of the day, it is PPR Nick, bringing up the rear of the cars there. So, 17 laps to go. You're on the medium tire. Can you push these to the end because of the safety car time? I think you can.
I would be surprised if we don't see some people absolutely do that. I mean, Ginger Horizon's in the field. We already know he's a madman with tire life. And we'll at least see him go to the end guaranteed. But I'm really concerned about what this has done to our race with everything that's happened. I mean, ultimately, this safety car has destroyed our front top 4 runners. And I can't see B-Dunk getting a chance now to take part in the podium now. I can't see Ginger up there. I can't see Ham Newton up there. I'm not saying that they're not quick drivers. That's a lot of work we're talking about to get back up to the podium paying positions.
It'll certainly be a tall mountain to climb. Reimer kind of being the only anomaly of the bunch in there. Everyone else is on basically the same strategy now from here on out. Such is the magic of the Sochi Autodrome. Let's see here. Activate Windows My Guy from BRL Maverick. Maverick, you got a Windows license for me? I will gladly punch it in. Anyway, back to the racing, folks. We're underway. Chandler State is leading us off here. Double OT is stuck close in that slipstream. It's up to him now. They're screaming at him on the pit wall to avenge his fallen teammate. Cactus missing the apex there completely. Sparky going to go right by him after that very poor entry into there. Have to let that one go. Ed Torona back in the mix now. Trying to ride that slipstream of the Red Bull. Sparky pulling all the way to the right, back to the racing line, taking a very aggressive line through there. Let's see, folks. Hoopalicious, though, very much going to be thinking to himself, with all of his compatriots a couple cars behind, this is a chance for him to really capitalize, considering that Ham Newton, B-Dunk, and Ginger were all in front of him in the standings, correct?
That is correct. So yeah, we've got B-Dunk, Saxman, Ginger Horizon, and Hoopalicious up there, Andre Myrie, and Boss Cookie. That is 2nd to 7th. Ed has a good possibility to obviously gain a couple of points here. That would pretty much solidify him into 7th. He's a little ways away from Andre Myrie, but Andre Myrie isn't going to be scoring any points at this time unless something crazy, absolutely crazy happens.
And by the way, folks, stay tuned. Next week we'll be at Suzuka. IB and I are going to get the crayons out and do some math for you and figure out all the permutations involving our drivers so we can bring you up-to-date driver standings as the races unfold.
Hey, can I borrow your red one? I only color in red, you know. Ferrari for life.
I was going to say, I actually ate all my crayons. So I'll have to go out to the store and get some new ones and mark some for non-consumption purposes.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, that's what they teach at the CSU system. So I'm just paying it forward for all future generations out there. But back to the racing, folks. BRL Sparky now up to P2, getting past Double OT, and now it's going to be a drag race into the next apex. Double OT staying just in front, but all this infighting has allowed, you guessed it, Chandler Seda to run away with the lead. Now gap's already up to 3 seconds.
You know this is going to be a hard to swallow topic for me, and I don't think I'm going to be able to shut up about it the rest of the race, man. I mean, oh, man.
If only we had some, well, we do technically have some team radio. Chandler was in the chat, said here, penalize me, boss man. Well, I'm not the guy.
That's not our decision.
It's not up to us, unfortunately. Let's see here. Based on where, so according to Rahul, based on where ERS Ham Newton came out, Chandler gained 13 positions, and so did Double OT. Maverick says he cut into the pits as well. And Rahul says both will get a huge penalty. So, according to our live chat here, there will be reckoning at a later date and time. But for now, we're going to have to take what we got on track, folks, as Sparky gets past Double OT there. And now it's up to him to try and chase down Chandler Seda with we're at the halfway stage in this race. 14 laps to go here at the Russian Grand Prix. And Double OT, though, is not giving up without a fight. He is throwing down the gun.
Wow, Funky Cactus around.
Oh, is he? I didn't even catch that.
He was drifting it there through turn 3 or 4. And he looks like he collected Ed.
Oh, no. He took another guy with him?
Looks like Ed and Funky Cactus are all the way back now.
Yeah, we got
Ed completely losing the front wing.
Oh. Can I assume that Funky was stationary when this happened, or was he trying to get back on the circuit?
Funky was actually sliding. I guess that would technically be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that right-hander back onto the course there after that big carousel, if you would.
Yeah.
Funky started to get into a drift, and it just spun him around sideways. And I think Ed was behind him at the time and came around and collected him. But he was completely sideways going around that corner.
Oh, sounds a little bit like Grosjean at Barcelona 2018.
I could definitely agree with that.
Speaking of sliding, that little left-right complex with the off-camber turn there in Sector 3 really catches a lot of the guys out. Sparky getting a big slide through there. Double OT, though, still in the DRS now. He's got a nice long straight coming up. Sparky moving all the way to the right to try and break the slipstream. Double OT is very far back. He will have to really put the pedal down. Sparky forcing him narrow there. Let's see, into the braking zone. I don't think he'll be able to really catch him up all that much. Late on the brakes, turning in now. Nothing really going there, but looks like Ginger getting past.
Ginger and B-Dunk, look at the charge that these guys have made. I mean, they were outside of the top 10, and they're already catching up to these front runners up here and not wasting any time. Ham Newton was taking his time. He was stuck about 2 positions behind him, but he's starting to make up time as well. This is really an impressive charge by them. I just hope that they have the pace to get up there and catch Chandler once again.
I will definitely say that is a testament to a lot of the raw speed in this division. If you're one of the front runners here, you have natural pace. So track position, tire compounds matter a little bit, but ultimately, if you can be just a second a lap faster just on pace, you're not going to really have to worry about that as much.
Yeah, it's phenomenal what some of these guys do, and I know that you talked about that off-camber turn, but
here we're heading into it right now. Actually, I'm with Ginger. You can see the cars like to slide all the way out there if you're taking just a little deep.
But let's be honest, man. These guys are running with no traction control and stuff like that, and just as well as I do, neither one of us can drive half of the talent of these guys. They're just
absolutely
so good.
not. I'm a filthy casual. I admit that.
Same.
I run racing line, ABS. I got brake assist on too.
If you have brake assist on, we really need to talk.
I mean, man, I just play the game for fun. I'm a career mode guy at the end of the day. I just happened to get into league racing by chance. I was like, oh, I should just give this a try, and I like it.
So basically, what happened is, I crash out of Australia 100%. I crash out of Bahrain, and I've been stuck up here in the booth ever since. And I'm like, thank God I don't have to prove that I am trash.
Yeah, you kind of got the Paul DeResta or Jolyon Palmer stick, unfortunately.
So horrible. I mean, I'm told that at the end, after you complete all of career mode, and I'm surprised you don't know this yet, it says retire to Sky F1.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
That's what I'm told. I haven't made it that far yet, but man, I feel like I just got there early.
10 seasons in a career mode sounds like a nightmare, though, because once the cars get fully upgraded, they just turn into rockets, and it's not fun to drive anymore. It's just scary. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I got the Red Bull fully upgraded, but hold on, folks. Hoop's going for it. Ooh, B-Dunk getting argy-bargy there, trying to force him narrow over the apex. He's going to force Hoop into a time penalty right there, folks. Double OT.
You're trying to find a way around, too. Look at that. Coming on the inside.
Ooh, over the off-camber curve. Oh, man, it is so tight here at the top 5, folks.
Ginger and B-Dunk telling Hoop, hey, man, get out of the way. We're not letting this go.
Ooh,
absolutely.
Reimer having a little bit of contact with Hoop. That will kill his momentum for the straight.
Double OT is going to be gone this time around here
Hoop,
as well.
Hoop giving his wheels a little wiggle there, maybe trying to send a signal to somebody up front.
He's like, hey, guys, up there on the wall, this isn't okay. Help.
And I would be shocked if, there goes Double OT. Should just be handing that position over to B-Dunk, I would assume.
Doesn't look like it's happening quite yet.
Regardless, Ginger sat P3, Sparky sat P2. Gap to P2, looking 1.5 seconds. Gap to first, 6 seconds. So,
if I was B-Dunk right now, I would be yelling at Claire to get on the radio and tell Double OT to get out of the way.
Yeah, look, they're fighting now. Look, they're banging wheels into the corner there. Now the Haas of Hoopalicious is going to creep right in. I mean, they're going to have clenched buttholes up on the pit wall right now.
I mean, we're just letting Ginger get away here, and it's ruining B-Dunk's race.
Folks, we're going to see a repeat of Baku. Here come both Williams drivers into a hard braking zone. Tip to rear, hard on the brakes there. Double OT's going to stay in front, but B-Dunk's coming back at him. Round the outside, Hoopalicious is going to say thank you.
Around and into the wall. Williams' worst nightmare.
Oh, no. Did they just take one of their cars out?
Oh, straight into 2 other cars. 3 cars collected in that incident. This will be a safety car.
Oh, Andre
man.
Look, everyone into the pits. Wow.
This is great news for B-Dunk and Ginger, though. This means
soft compound to the end?
I mean, I absolutely would if they've got a fresh set, but Chandler's advantage is gone.
Totally. Totally, because all that time he just built up is about to be erased.
And he had no opportunity to pit. No opportunity to pit.
IB, do you think it was staged by Williams? Do you think Flavio's down on the pit wall, picking up the bat phone, making some calls?
You know, I would almost say, before I would say it was staged by Williams, I would say it was staged by Renault.
Why would you say that?
Because Renault, A, they have a history. I'm kidding. We're not going to compare to them.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, with where Chandler was when that first safety car came out, with where Chandler was,
with Nick crashing,
gave him the perfect opportunity. Yeah, it gave him the perfect opportunity to die.
That's a very bold claim to make, my friend.
I know it's a very bold claim.
I don't think we'll be allowed in the Renault paddock
for a while. I love you, Nick. But man, if it was convenience, it's too convenient.
Well, like you said, that advantage is gone. So much so, Sparky went in for softs, and he's dropped back to P7. B-Dunk on the fresh softs. He'll be on the charge here. Fern opting to stay out. Newton opting to stay out very curiously. Chandler opting to stay out even, just trying to get it done on the older tires.
Chandler didn't have the opportunity when the accident happened. He was already past.
True. That is so true. He was already past the pit lane, huh? Interesting. Wow, I shouldn't have given Sochi such a hard time.
I know you were texting me before the race saying, "Man, it's just Sachi. You know, it's not going to be that great, man. It's going to be a boring race. We're going to have to talk about news. Look at this, man. Great action tonight."
You know, we got lucky, though. If it had been a wet race, we might have seen a more tenuous race. But since it's dry, you see a lot of these guys, they are very much pushing it. And, it is that home stretch. Everyone is clawing their way for any points they can get. I think you're going to see a lot of drivers maybe making some very, very bold moves here in the latter stages of the season. Your order, folks, real quick. It's Chandler Seda out in P1, followed by Ham Newton in P2. Behind them, it's Mean Fern, Ginger Horizon, B-Dunk, Hoopalicious, BRL Sparky, Saxman, Reimer, and King Kirk. Looks like Reimer's going to dive into the pits there. Excuse me. Behind them, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm going to say, if I'm 100% honest, I really don't think Williams could have made that call, even if Flavio got on the phone, mainly because the two drivers were racing each other, and I think that's what ultimately was the problem, is that the call to let B-Dunk by didn't happen, and by allowing them to race each other, that's what caused the accident ultimately.
Very, very true. Very true. So, with that said then, all eyes on B-Dunk now to make up the time here. He's on the fastest compound available. I don't see how he doesn't pull this one off. He's only got 4 cars to overcome, and 2 of them are on beat tires compared to his.
I mean, hopefully we see him just have that extra touch of magic like we did at the beginning of the race. And, you know, throughout the race, he's really been a hard charger along with Ginger. Ham Newton just made a good strategy call because, like I said, he was behind those 2 drivers, and now he's in front of them. And he's still got a lap fresher tires than Chandler. So, I mean, there is still a really good opportunity for Ham Newton here as well. But, yeah, B-Dunk is going to be flying on those softs, and it's going to be really hard for any of these drivers to hold him back, I think. Not that it can't be done, because a lot of these top drivers right now, this top 5, are pretty decent at defending. I'm not too sure about Mean Fern. Apologize, Fern, but I just don't know. But I know that Ginger, Ham, and Chandler can defend and place that car properly. So I'll be really interested. This is going to be spicy. We're going to have a spicy bowl of ramen from Sachi before going to Japan next week.
A spicy bowl of goulash, perhaps, since this is Russia.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
I've been studying my local cuisines. But, folks, it's time for the safety car restart. It's in this lap. 18 laps in, 10 laps to go at this Russian Grand Prix. Chandler's going to back up the pack real nice and tight here. Let's see when he decides to step on the gas. Around the final turn. Yep, he's across the line, folks. Green flags. Chandler out in front, though, trying to pull out some kind of gap. You're going to see a nice little slipstream fest. Down turn 1, down to turn 2 now. Let's see. Chandler pulling to the right to break it. Back to the left. Back to the racing line now. ERS closing up. Let's see, folks, into the left-hander. Chandler taking a very shallow line through there. Ham Newton running a touch wider. He's in that dirty air of the Renault. into the next hard braking zone. Everyone taking those very saucy. Oh, Ham Noon's going to just cut that corner a little too much. He's going to pick up a nice 3-second time penalty. That will lurch him back quite a few positions at the moment. On board Mean Fern, holding it up. Ginger Clip coming into the mix. B-Dunk, though, look at that. He's already right on the back of that Alpha.
Hoopalicious right there, too. Also on the soft tires, trying to get himself back into the top 5 of this race. He's been there the whole time. But, man, Ginger, you have to get past that Haas right now. There is no time to waste. He's on that hard tire. He's going to hold you back. And you've got B-Dunk right there behind you.
Speaking of, into the hard braking zone, Hoopalicious, B-Dunk. Let's see who breaks later. Fern, ooh, almost coming to blows with Ginger there. A little bit of, they've touching there. A little bit of illegal touching maybe. Legal touching, who knows. But big winner, Hoop, P6 to P4. B-Dunk down to P7.
And Sparky throwing himself up here in the mix. I mean, Ginger has got to be screaming about that defense there. I'm sure he's just trying to get by. Maybe we are seeing Mean Fern was listening to the comms and heard what I had to say, or maybe he's helping out his teammate here. I'm sure we're going to see Hoop get by with no problem, as Ginger, Sparky, and B-Dunk are going to be held back.
Maybe some team orders are in place here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure that they're in a party chat right now as Ginger tries to go around the outside of Mean Fern, but Mean Fern is still actually racing. Gosh, come on, don't be a K-Mag and Grosjean. That's not a good way to race, boy.
I was going to say, 2 Haas cars next to each other on track usually is fireworks. Into the next hard braking zone. That's the Alpha, though. Ginger
good job,
coming
Ginger.
back at Mean Fern. He's now up to P4.
Sparky pulling it up, too.
Look at that, folks. What a twist of fates here in the closing stages of this Russian Grand Prix. Don't forget, folks, there are a lot of time penalties to be served yet. So, despite what you might see on the timing sheet to the left, things could still change in the latter stages of this race.
It could still yet change after the race, depending on any penalties that any of these drivers
I get a sense that this will go into incident reports for quite a few hours tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be blowing up in that chat.
Don't expect anyone to make their flights to Tokyo. Here we go, folks. Throwing down the challenge right now. It's BRL Sparky, maybe someone we hadn't really touted as kind of a dark horse in this one, but he's up to a very sensible P5 on the very grippy set of soft tires. And he has Ginger Horizon in his sights. DRS has just been enabled. Nice long pit straight coming up, folks. Let's see. Bit of a poor exit there. Ginger just trying to pull up on Hoop. Everyone taking a nice shallow, narrow line through turn 1. Slipstream train it is. B-Dunk not really getting back in the mix. Fern looking very slow on the straight on those hards. B-Dunk was closing fast and hard. I didn't expect him to be P7 much longer. But folks, it's Sparky, it's Ginger, it's Hoop. These are the 3 we will be keeping an eye on for the remainder of this Grand Prix. Nathan, unless you got something for me at the back end of this field here, I think I'm going to keep it up here with the top 5.
No arguments for me. I mean, these drivers are absolutely at the top of their game right now and fighting for every position. B-Dunk is just getting held up by Mean Fern, and I think that he heard me, or his engineer, let him know that I said I'm not sure how he defends, and he's trying to show everything he possibly can, no matter how questionable it is, or just to maintain his position. But there is no question when it comes to DRS, and that mailbox is open, and B-Dunk has licked the stamp and sent it and made a perfect, beautiful pass right there.
There you have it, folks. B-Dunk up to P6. Next up for him, it's Sparky in P5. Hoopalicious right on the back of Ham Noon. I think Hoop's going for the win here. He can see that Renault almost.
Absolutely. I think Hoop desperately wants it. We have a great little battle back here with Funky Cactus. Capita Hood is made up of quite a few positions, and he's now eating up Mean Fern as well.
We got a Toro Rosso into the barrier there. That's brackish. Don't think it's going to be a late safety car, but yes.
Oh, man. Funky Cactus, this is just amazing 3-way battle little right here going on, including Andre Myrie. It's so dicey right here with these 4 cars.
Are they going 3 wide into the left-hander?
Yes. They went Ferrari of King Kurt coming up on the inside of Funky Cactus as well. We have 5 cars here as Cactus is drifting. Oh my lord!
Captain
This
Hood
is
sending it through there like a
just
bat out of hell.
they do not care anymore. I want to know what Christian Horner has told them to make them drive these cars so erratically. I mean, wow.
You know how Red Bull is. They do like a daring driver.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just somewhere where some of these passes are happening between Funky Cactus and Capita and Andre Myrie. I mean, Kirk here as well. He's just in this mix. This is nuts.
Ham Newton getting a little sideways there. Sparky's going to say thank you very much. But more importantly, look at that time interval at the top of the sheet, my man.
Big lockup.
Hoopalicious. 5/10.
Huge crash.
Ooh.
Andre Myrie went straight off where Vettel did last year. And just so much action right here in this lower part of the grid. I mean, I know you wanted to stay up front, but man, this is dicey just as well.
Speaking of, you might want to get on board with Hoopalicious right now in that DRS of Chandler Seda, folks. This one's for the lead. It's for championship standings. Let's see. Up the inside, Chandler taking it back to the racing line. Hoopalicious going to get kind of a poor exit there because he ran narrow on the exit, though. Chandler's going to try to come back at him here, round the outside of the long left-hander. Let's see, folks. It's going to be a drag race. Who's going to have the bigger balls into the braking zone? He's leaving enough room for the Renault. 4 laps from home, folks. It's a drag race now. Chandler Seda on those old mediums really struggling for grip. You can see the back end there just sliding out. Hoop now is just going to try to extend his advantage here. Ginger now also in on the mix in that Alfa Romeo, seeing these two fight. Got to be smiling to himself that he might even be good for a P2 if this rate result keeps up. Same with Sparky, who's creeping back into the picture. The soft runner is making a killing right now.
Absolutely. The road to redemption is the story for Ginger, B-Dunk, and Hoopalicious after that first safety car. And they are looking for every single position. I mean, it's really been an amazing drive by these guys. Chandler just, in my opinion, doesn't have the pace at this track like we normally see him have. I'm not sure, if he's dealing with cars.
That's very ironic considering he is the world record holder for this track.
Is he really?
I believe he is. I could be wrong, but that was my understanding at the beginning of the season that he has a world record at Sochi. I have no idea unless when maybe Veloce James came through and decided to mod his Xbox a little bit, but
he said, "Excuse me, who is this Chandler Seda guy?"
I'd like a word with him.
He's not in our league. Let's just take care of this.
Speaking of, though, Ginger, he's trying to send that one, trying to make up any time he can, almost into the back of the Renault there. Chandler struggling to keep pace with the Haas car now. Hoop, not really having to check his mirrors as much. He's just kind of got this car turned into bring it home mode, 2s and 2s, as it were, on the dashboard.
Ginger needs to play it safe. He is pushing right now because he's reaching that area of desperation, and that is not what he needs right now. He needs to just maintain his calm, get up close to the back of that Renault, and just follow the line down and make it happen at the end of turn, or at the entrance to turn 2. That's going to be the key for him here. He could also do it, of course, on the back straight, but I think it's more likely and he's more comfortable at turn 1 or turn 2. I always mess that up.
No, it's fine. Keep an eye out, though. Down the back straight here, Chandler closed up about another 10th and some change, keeping it about 0.5 now to Hoop. Hoop's advantage still there, but Chandler is making it hard for him to get away. Ginger closing up on Chandler, gaps down to 0.4. Sparky has got a front row seat for all of this, unfortunately, and he's just too far back to get in the mix.
Yeah, and I mean, still a great drive by Sparky, but he just isn't going to be able to catch up to him, I don't think. Ginger has that car turned up, though. He is in ERS mode 4 and got that DRS wide open. Can't really pull much onto the Renault here, but he should be able to set him up perfectly if he can stay this close later on in the lap or even next lap.
Let's see, folks. Long left-hander. Everyone's taking it very narrow into the next hard braking zone. Chandler might concede yet another position here. Let's see. Ginger trying to get by, having a look there, not really going into the next right-hander. This isn't a great overtaking area, but Hoop, he's going to slide on the exit. That will cost him momentum. Chandler will say thank you very much. There is still a back straight coming up here, folks, in just a couple of turns' time. Through the stadium section here. Stadium section, whatever you want to call it. Everything's a stadium section at this track. Next right-hander before the DRS, folks. Let's see. It's a 3-car train. Chandler on the back of Hoop. Ginger on the back of Chandler. DRS wide open. Hoop, he's sticking it to the inside line there. No surprise. Chandler is closing up. Hoop back to the racing line. Let's see. Is Chandler going to send it up? No, he's going to think twice. Brackish getting loads of time penalties today. Poor guy. It's another one. Ginger very close. Chandler getting a poor exit there. Looking with a lot of wheel spin into the off-camber turn. Tricky bit there. No worries. Both drivers taking it very tidy. 2 right-handers to go, folks. Overtaking opportunities will come at a premium now. You do not have the same grip on your tires for braking as you did 5 laps ago. So expect to see some split-second decisions being made. Business decisions.
Ginger's going to get him right here. Ginger is chasing him down right behind the Renault right now. He's going to try to stick to the inside here and has to brake as Chandler just didn't leave him any room.
Well, he'll take the exit speed because, look, he's coming back at him now through the left-hander. Chandler's going to try to force him narrow. Let's see. Can Ginger take it back to the outside? Chandler's going to try to cover him off. Nice little follow-through straight here into the right-hander. Ginger's got that battery nice and turned up, not really using any deployment. 2 laps to go, folks, in this Russian Grand Prix. Hoopalicious leading Chandler, leading Ginger at the front here. Looking down the rest of your field, Saxman trying to close up to Capita Hood, and he's got the move done. Behind them,
Capita Hood got extremely loose on that exit, that's why.
It's a bit like ice skating around here, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if it's because they're running over the marbles or what it is at this point. I mean, it just seemed like he got over the curb and lit up the rear tires, and that was that.
Ooh, speaking of Ginger now, around the outside. Let's see, is he going to make that one stick? I think he has. He's repaying the favor to Chandler, forcing him very narrow on the turn in there. Chandler's in the rearview mirror now, folks. It's Hoopalicious and Ginger Horizon, the light, hard chargers of this pack, up into P1 and 2, respectively, though Chandler's going to have one more lap to try and take back P2. Sparky's still hanging back in P4.
I am so excited for next season. I know we still have 6 races left, but man, I'm ready to see Ginger and Hoop, take it to Chandler next year and our next set, because it's just going to be an amazing. We're going to end up having a 3-way battle for the championship, as well as B-Dunk getting back in the mix. Hopefully he can continue his groove. Oh, the championship is going to be wide open, and it's going to be a bloody, brutal battle.
Yes, and not to mention the fact the physics model is changing again for F1. So, if you think you got it figured out, folks, I'm sorry to say you're going to have to relearn everything in about 2 months' time. They've completely changed a lot of the game dynamics, so much so that the ERS modes have been completely changed around to how they are in real life as opposed to how they are in the game, where you're selecting a deployment setting as opposed to in real life. It deploys over certain distances, and the overtake button is the only thing you really have. And they've went ahead and changed that. But you still get your fuel modes, which is nice. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But Ginger going for the win here. Just a little too far back on Hoop. Let's see, he's going to try to send it. Ooh, very late on the brakes. He's almost to the back of Hoopalicious. I think he... No, it's just not enough corners left, folks. Let's see. Gap is 3/10 into the off-camber turn. Let's see. Hoop just trying to park his car in the middle of the apex, not trying to let the Alfa Romeo by. 2 corners to go, folks. It's Hoopalicious P1, Ginger Horizon P2. Let's see. Couple more turns. I think Hoop's just going to retain it. Here's the finish line, folks. Congratulations to the very young and exuberant Haas team taking the win here. But Chandler Sada's got it on penalties. What are the odds, folks? Chandler Sada is your race winner. The Banana Boat Boys taking home another. These are your on-track results as they stand. Chandler Sada P1, Hoopalicious P2, Ginger Horizon P3. Behind them is Capita Hood P4. Excellent recovery drive by the Red Bull driver. Saxman P5. Behind them, Ham Newton. B-Dunk, unfortunately, not able to convert that excellent qualifying. Sparky's going to come home P8. King Kirk just getting past at the line P9. Caspita snagging that last point P10. And you're not on points paying positions, unfortunately. Reimer, Brackish, Ed, Mean Fern, Run the Jewels. Bringing up the rear, it's Andre Myrie. There you have it, folks. A very, very, I'd say it's a pretty exciting race. Wouldn't you say, IB?
Absolutely. I mean, that was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of enjoyment there. A lot of controversy. I mean, what else can you want from a Formula One race? You want controversy, you want great on-track passes, and you want a battle. You want a lot of battling. and I can't say that we didn't get a little bit of absolutely everything from that.
Who's your driver of the day, Nathan?
For me, everybody knows I'm a Ginger Horizon fan. I just need to see him in a Ferrari. Hopefully he can pull a little bit of Leclerc for me and be in a Ferrari next season. But man, he did an absolutely phenomenal job. Hoopalicious made the right calls as well. In what he was doing for his strategy, just didn't work out for him, Newton, or B Dunk, quite frankly. And I really feel for those guys. But we'll all see next week when we take a look at the leaderboards and see what happens. There's going to be quite a few penalties, I feel, with some of the mistakes and errors that were made on track today. A lot of cars sliding around. Beautiful race, in all honesty. But nothing's going to tell us until we see the graphics next week of what has happened and what's transpired.
Excellent. And that, I think, it's a perfect way to end things. Folks, catch us at the same time next week, Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live from the Suzuka circuit in Japan. It'll be an exciting race. It's a classic of a track, and we might even see a championship clincher on our hands, folks. Stay tuned. I'm Best Teon. As always, folks, stay classy, and thank you again for joining us. Have a great night.